as we all know, that today we have gathered here for the inauguration of SATHI Center for In Situ and Correlative Microscopy, SATHI-CISCoM. This facility has been commissioned with 3 equipments and all housed in a class 1 lakh classroom. This has been possible with the support of 17 academic, research and industrial organizations. Now, I humbly invite Professor B.S. Murthy, Director, IIT Hyderabad, for his welcome remarks. Please welcome him.
Friends, good morning and thanks to all of you who have gathered here. One of our role models, Sir Abdul Kalam sir, used to say, everybody should dream and dream should be as colorful as possible. He even went one step further to say, dreams should not make you sleep. That is the kind of dreams you should have. At IIT Hyderabad, we have many such dreams. And this is one such dream. And this is somehow a little more closer to my heart, just because I'm a microscopist for the last 35 years. And this is a microscopy center that we are establishing here. Thanks to, as our friend mentioned, 17 partners who came together and to set up this, and a great support that has come from DST in the form of SATHI. And we are looking forward to changing the whole landscape of microscopy, high-end microscopy, particularly into what we call it as in situ and correlative microscopy. For those people who possibly do not know much about what is in situ microscopy, we talk about basically putting a sample inside a microscope and applied external stimulus to it, maybe heat it, for example. I was just explaining, somebody says that if you take a cancerous tumor and heat it by 50 degrees centigrade, the tumor dies, okay? But nobody has actually put it into a microscope and seen what happens to the cell when you heat it to 50 degrees. And that is something that we would like to do here. And heating such kind of thing. For example, those who work on nanoparticles, they all know that when you heat a nanoparticle, it grows and loses all its properties. So when does it happen? How fast it happens? All this can be done in such a center. And this is the first such in situ and correlative microscopy center in the whole country. And possibly one of the very few, to the best of my knowledge, there are not more than 3 or 4 such centers in the whole world. And so that is something which I would like to see not only our students to use it, because I always had a dream that why students should go outside this country. We should be able to provide the best facilities in our own backyards and ensure that our students do the best research and be not only the leaders within the country and become global leaders. If India is talking about Viksit Bharat, it's all possible when we do high-end research and ensuring that bringing people together. And this is one such example that I'm really grateful to all my partners. One is representing sitting here, but there are 16 other partners who are sitting here. And thanks to all of you friends, we are able to reach this particular milestone. And this is just a beginning. And as my BOG chairman just pointed out as we were walking here, he wants to see every month report on how this particular center is performing. And we will ensure, sir, that you will be happy that this center that is being set up here, you would not see more productivity in any other center than what you see in this center. Thank you very much. I have great gentlemen. I would like to say Sairam and Shaurya, who have brought in, they tell me 78. This is again another thing. I am a strong believer collaborations will lead to synergy and ensure 1 + 1 is significantly greater than 2. 78 faculty members out of 320 faculty members came together to set up this SATHI. So that tells you that how much passion the faculty members at IIT Hyderabad have to set up such a center, and 2 pillars are standing here. Thank you very much, friends.
Thank you so much, sir. I think one takeaway that we all believe from his welcome remark is 1 plus 1 is significantly greater than 2, and we surely look forward to seeing the center grow. I now kindly invite Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy, Chairman, BUG, IIT Hyderabad, for his able address to the August gathering. Please.
Professor Abhay Karandikar, Professor B.S. Murthy, Professor B.J. Rao. We have 18 partners, I believe, right now for this initiative of SATHI. 10 of them from academia, 4 from R&D, and 4 from industry. Especially, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Krishna Ella, the chairman of Bharat Biotech, one of the leading biotechnology companies, just not in this country, in this world. So, very eminent scientists, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. At the outset, let me congratulate IIT Hyderabad for getting this leading edge technology in situ and correlation microscopy. Pardon me, I'm not the technologist behind this this initiative, but I think it's an amazing initiative. The little bit of reading that I did and what I learned from Professor Murthy makes me believe that it's going to be the best center in the country. We probably had, I believe, the atom microscope that you have is the first in India, the equipment that we have. So you all have an amazing infrastructure that's been created. So a couple of things I wanted to share with you. The first one is about the collaboration part, which Professor Murthy also mentioned. And collaboration now not only between the 10 plus 4 plus 4, that's how I'll call them, but equally important is that we are in a position to bring together as many as 78 professors on this particular initiative. In a system that we work at this point of time, which is all about open innovation, it is all about interdisciplinary, more in terms of collaboration that will help us in terms of growing. So my belief is this is a great initiative in terms of bringing all people together. My second point is that there's a fairly large amount of debate that goes on that in India, that we have about 0.6% of our GDP being spent on R&D. So my point is, and then you start looking at the Western world, start at about 6%, 8% numbers. And there'll be a fairly large debate saying that we're not spending enough. My point is, and I'll be very honest about it, what's the outcome of this 0.6%? If we can produce substantially different results from this 0.6%, then I think rest of it is history. It will come. I can assure you money will come in like lava. So what I'm trying to impress on all this August audience at this point of time is to say that, look, we have infrastructure being created, environment being created, 350 professors, 78 of them into this particular initiative. But what is extremely important is what are the outcomes that come by. So there's this, again, a debate that goes on saying that, we are here for research. Great, I'm not disputing it. I'm not belittling it in any way. Research is extremely important. Knowledge gaining is, critical for our success. But do you take this research to the level of TRL 3 or TRL 4 at the most, and then drop it off thereafter, and say, look, I made publications, there's so many citations, and my H index has gone northwards, so is that good enough? My point is, yes, it's important. But the fact is, you have to take, or somebody else has to take that to that TRL 7, 8, to ensure that it's not anymore that we suffer from what we keep calling it as proof of concept paralysis, but move into scale, commercialization, and monetization. So my second point is that we should definitely look at making sure that we get best out of what we're investing at this point of time, as opposed to saying that we don't have enough investments. The third thing that I like to talk about is that it is an open innovation era that we live in. And therefore, more minds come together, there's great possibility of better outcomes. And certainly, I think in many ways, and I feel very honored, very privileged to chair the board of IIT Hyderabad. It's a privileged institution. We now have, between DST, I'll come in a minute to DST to thank them, but DST gave us out a maximum of 75 crores. The partners are bringing about 25 crores, 100 crores of investment into this particular lab, maximum, approximately. Are there many institutions in this country which can afford to get this amount of money? They can't. But you got the equipment. And what you need to do is make sure that everybody else who wants to use this equipment gets an opportunity to use it. That is when I told Professor Murthy earlier this morning, saying that I like to see what's the utilization of this equipment. See, that is when we'll start seeing more results to come by. The 0.6% doesn't matter. I'll see what's the output that comes from this. So therefore, do not have that closed mind to say, this is IIT Hyderabad equipment. This belongs to these 18 partners. We need to have this open mind to say, there are other people who are outside. I'm so glad that an institution like Welltech University, Mrs. Mahalakshmi is here, a private institution, has also contributed to this particular initiative of ours. So we should not limit to just people who subscribe to it, but even people who are outside. But in the lighter vein, Professor Murthy talked about 1 + 1 should be greater than 2. Our belief in the corporate world, we do these scale of acquisitions. We go buy companies for hundreds of crores of rupees. The last one we did was 500 crore acquisition. And we tell people that when 1 + 1 in our, it's math. So people say, when do you buy? I say, math, physics, chemistry has to be right. I'm sure I can relate very well to all of you. MPC. So what is my math? 1 + 1 has to become 11. And the physics, 1 + 1 is 11 to me. And then the physics has to be synergy that we can create together. It's not that, look, they do the same, we do the same, so what it is. When partners come together, therefore synergy has to get created. And it's equally important, we keep saying chemistry between people is important. I think if we have the same vision, same values, our chemistry will also be the same. Lastly, I'd like to thank Professor Abhay Karandikar. Not necessarily that was last on my list. It was the first thing that I said, I'll do it, but then I said, no, I should definitely tell you all about what I think before I thank Professor Abhay Karandikar, the Department of Science and Technology, for supporting us. I know Professor Karandikar for a number of years when he was the director of IIT Kanpur, where I also happen to be an alumni. And we worked on a number of initiatives together. So it's his vision to bring this up, especially Professor Karandikar. I saw that note from DST, which is on your website, and was very impressed with it. You're saying there will be a Section 8 company, accountability will be there. And this is how we need to move forward. Accountability has to increase, we need to produce results. Because the big vision all of us have, if you're there or not, most of you will be there, maybe people might not be there, people like me might not be there, is Viksit Bharat. You need to have a developed nation by 2047. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your emboldened words. I think from 1 + 1 being significantly greater than 2 to 1 + 1 equaling 11, we understand that what matters is the outcome. And I'm pretty sure that that is going to be a driving force that the center is going to abide by. I now humbly invite Professor B.J. Rao, Vice Chancellor, University of Hyderabad, a representative of partner institutions of SATHI-CISCoM Center, for his kind address to the audience. Please, sir.
Namaste to all of you. This is a very important day. This is the day where Sathi actually has taken birth. And SATHI as a model is very, very important, not for just this assemblage, but for the country. SATHI is a model where DST nucleates with some money and other partners come along, public-private partners, and in mission mode, facility creation. And the facility should be of high end so that we start hitting high in science, technology, and public good. So this is the model. And in this model, we are contributors. BVR Murthy Garu has taken the catalyst role, and Karan Dikarji has actually put in his first money from DST, and BVR Mohan Reddy Garu has given the blessing. Now, this model is important for two very important causes. One, this is bringing people together to do high-end science, technology, and public good. And this cannot afford to fail. The template has been created, and template actually looks at probing the atoms in interesting material to probing the molecules and cells and tissues in interesting disease context samples. So the imaging that Professor Murthy Garu actually talked about starts from atoms to very high-end other biological soft material. Entire range has to work. And when entire range works, you get what is called structure, and structure becomes function in some magical manner. If we are able to understand that structure in the context of some function which is meaningful for science as well as society, then this model has worked. If this model, about 100 crore, can be scaled up into 100 such units in the country, provided this works. 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5, 10 years from now, we should be celebrating this model. If we do not celebrate, then it will leave a question mark in public conscience. So therefore, all of us should work together. All 18 partners are here, public, private, IIT is here. People come and go, please remember, but the model has to work. And for model to work, we need to generate researchers who are deep-minded in nature so that they can create interesting problems. Not easy to make such models work. In the country, such facilities have been created in the past also. They are just lingering around. We must make sure that this should work. We do not have very stunning record of working together in the country. Therefore, let us work together in this template and make sure that we generate, number one, high quality science. Publication should roll out. Number two, it should translate into technology. Number three, it should lead to public good. So there is a big agenda here, and for this big agenda to actually translate, people have to work together beyond their individual agendas. Only then I can see Vikasit Bharat. And this is a beautiful institute in terms of training students. And Hyderabad is a very beautiful city in terms of density of high-ended research and educational institutions. Hyderabad should harness all its capacity through such models to bring about Vikasit Bharat. If Hyderabad cannot do it, the chances of other cities doing it in this model is somewhat slim. So country actually puts a lot of hope on cities like Hyderabad. We have such number of high-ended manpower in this city. This is one example where we come together. There could be other clusters also in the city. It is possible to bring out other clusters, and we should. This is just a drop. And when we do that, you will actually scale it up. If we do not scale up, ultimately, this model, then this is not effective. This is where we are actually slowing down in the country. Let us do it, let us scale it up, and give it to the country, Vikasit Bharat. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Your words reminded me of Robert Frost's poem, "For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever." And that is what we have to leave a remark with our research. There's a years Hindi song, साथ ही हाथ बढ़ाना, एक अकेला थक जाएगा, मिलकर बोझ उठाना, which kind of translates to, my dear partner, let's support each other. For one may get tired, but together we can successfully take the load of anything and everything. I now request Dr. Shaurya to kindly introduce our chief guest to the audience. Please welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for gathering here on this occasion. And it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Professor Abhay Karandekar. He is the current Secretary of Department of Science and Technology. Before joining DST, he was the Director of IIT Kanpur from 2018 till 2023. Prior to that, he served as a faculty in IIT Bombay and in various admin positions in IIT Bombay. While at IIT Bombay, he spearheaded a national effort in setting up the Telecom Standards Development Society of India, TSDSI, Indian standards body for telecom with participation of all stakeholders. Professor Karandekar was the founding member and former chairman of TSDSI. He was also a member of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRAI, from January 2018 till 2021. Professor Karandekar has many patents issued and in his name, and he has done an enormous contribution to IEEE, 3 GPP standards, contributed chapters to various books, and a large number of papers in various reputed journals. Professor Karandekar was awarded with the IEEE SA Standard Medallion in December 2016 in New Jersey. His team also won the Mozilla Open Innovation Challenge Prize in March 2017 for his work on rural broadband and digital empowerment in rural India. With this brief bio, I would request Professor Karandekar to please come and grace us with us.
Thank you. Dr. BVR Mohan Reddy, Chairman, Board of Governors of IIT Hyderabad, Professor Murthy, Director, IIT Hyderabad, Professor Rao, all the distinguished guests who are there, particularly from the partner institutions of SATHI, both from research institutions, academia, and industry, faculty members, student and staff of IIT Hyderabad, my colleagues from DST who are also joining here. Let me begin first by congratulating Professor Murthy and his team for setting up this milestone for the SATHI. The DST had conceived this idea of setting up such national R&D infrastructure facilities across the country, and SATHI was an acronym for Sophisticated Analytical Technical Help Institutes. But IIT Hyderabad has really turned around this acronym into its real meaning of SATHI, that is, the collaboration, by bringing together not one or two, but as many as 17 partners. And I'm also delighted to see that all these partners and collaborators are not just for the namesake or for expressing their interest or intent to collaborate, but have substantially put in their funds to have their skin in the game. And I think that is really the collaborative nature of this multi-institution partnership that Department of Science and Technology and the Government of India is delighted of. I already mentioned a set up about 6 such facilities. One recently I inaugurated at IIT Kharagpur, one is in BHU, one is in IIT Delhi. Then we have set it up in ICT Mumbai, that is now coming up. In this phase, we set up 3 such facilities, BITS Pilani, ICT Mumbai, and IIT Hyderabad. Professor Murthy was super fast in
setting up and establishing this facility within 6 months of its sanction. And because the BITS Pilani and ICT Mumbai, they still have to catch up and set it up. We are still waiting for those facilities to come up. Now, as Professor Murthy mentioned, that this facility, the atom probe that has been set up here, we earlier also had such atom probes in other academic institutes like IIT Madras. But this atom probe is one of its kind. I think this particular version is about only 6 such machines in the world. And we are indeed delighted that one of them exists in India and in IIT Hyderabad, which will give us an opportunity for researchers to do a very high-end impactful research, leading not only to publications, patents, technology developments, but also pushing the boundaries of advancement of science to a level where we can make new discoveries and new inventions. And I think that is really something that we would like this facility to be useful. In the Department of Science and Technology, we have been setting up such R&D infrastructure facility for a long time. We had earlier set up the SAF, which was Sophisticated Analytical Instrumentation Facility, which have been working in several universities and institutions. SATHI was effort to really take that SAF concept to the next level, to build a facility in a public-private partnership mode where we can set this up as a Section 8 company and it can be utilized by other researchers also, both from academia and industry. As you know that the Government of India has recently established Anusandhan National Research Foundation, ANRF. I am also currently holding the additional charge of the CEO of ANRF. We are going to have the governing board meeting of ANRF soon. The ANRF is being chaired by the Honorable Prime Minister. And as a part of this foundation, it will be our endeavor to stimulate the latent potential of our vast network of universities, colleges, and research institutions that exist in the country, and not remain the research and development to be focused of only some top-tier institutions. I think it is absolutely essential to stimulate the latent potential that is existing in large number of our universities, colleges, institutions. There are very, very talented students who are studying in other institutions also, and provided if they are given access to facilities and proper mentorship, I am sure that we can increase our pool of full-time equivalent R&D personnel in a very big way. And that will be really our endeavor through the ANRF. SATHI is one such attempt, and I think as Professor Rao mentioned, that if this template is successful, I am sure through ANRF, we would be willing to set up such central R&D facilities in much larger numbers with the partnership from the industry and other academia, so that the benefits of very high-end research facilities are being made available to tier 2, tier 3 institutions and our other universities also. So that is actually another objective that I wanted to say. In fact, based on our brainstorming discussions that I have had for the ANRF, this idea has really come up that we need such central facilities located in all parts of the country in order for our other institutions to take advantage of. Finally, I think I would like to just mention that both being as a long-standing IIT faculty and also being the director of IIT and now being the secretary, I have seen all sides of the scientific ecosystem of the country. we as a researcher, there are several issues that a researcher faces. One is of course of the R&D infrastructure facilities. Another one is of the funding that the researcher needs. And third, the most important aspect that as a researcher needs is ease of doing research. And by ease of doing research, we mean flexibility in terms of spending the funding, flexibility in terms of hiring the manpower, flexibility and ease of procurement processes, etc. And in the Department of Science and Technology, we have been taking initiatives to see that how we can make the life of a researcher more easier so that the researcher needs to concentrate only on the high-end impactful research rather than worrying about the funding and the procurement processes, which should be really being taken by the scientific ecosystem. In the ANRF, we will definitely take steps to see that not only the funding is made available to our researchers, but the funding is made available through a very efficient and transparent system of governance, which is not only transparent and efficient from the government side, but also will require accountability and outcomes from the researcher sides. So essentially, we need to therefore move towards a system where we follow the global best practices in terms of efficiency, simplification of process, flexibility, accountability, transparency, which will only lead to an impactful outcome, both from the government side and from the industry and the academia side. Once again, I would like to congratulate the IIT Hyderabad team. After taking over as the Secretary DST, IIT Hyderabad is the only institute where I am visiting the second time. All other institutes, I have gone only maybe once. It will be difficult for me to repeat, but this is one institute where I am repeating my visit again. And I think as Professor Rao mentioned, that we have a lot of expectations from this center, but I am confident that the kind of partners that you have and the kind of capabilities that IIT Hyderabad has developed over the years, this will become a template for us to replicate in the Department of Science and Technology and the ANRF. So all the best, my best wishes.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. They say when the student is ready, the master appears. And I believe the role for DST in reliving this dream and making sure that the dream of this group of students succeed has been no less than that of a master. It's been a great honor to see and be a part of such a path-breaking and a zenith event. Of course, this wouldn't have been possible without the teamwork and without the belief of our partners. To recognize this partnership and to commemorate all the Sathis of SATHI-CISCoM Center, I request Professor B.S. Murthy, Director, IIT Hyderabad, and Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy, Chairman, BUG, IIT Hyderabad, to kindly come forward for the felicitation as a token of gratitude. Thank you. I now request the representative from Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad, the host institute. Next, I request the representative from University of Hyderabad. The representative from Vishweshwaraya National Institute of Technology, VNIT, Nagpur. VNIT, Nagpur. Representative from National Institute of Technology, Raipur. NIT Raipur. National Institute of Technology, Warangal. NIT Warangal. National Institute of Technology, Andhra Pradesh. NIT Andhra Pradesh. Representative from Telangana Council of Higher Education. Representative from Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology, CBIT, Hyderabad. CBIT, Hyderabad. Representative from Sri Vishnu Educational Society, Hyderabad. SVES, Hyderabad. Representative from Weltech University, Chennai. Weltech University, Chennai. Next, I would like to call upon our representatives from various R&D labs. Representative from International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Materials, ARCI, Hyderabad and Chennai. ARCI, Hyderabad and Chennai. Representative from Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, Hyderabad. IIT, Hyderabad. Representative from LV Prasad Eye Institute, Hyderabad. Okay, next we have a representative from various industries. First, I would like to call upon from Dr. Reddy's Lab, Hyderabad. Dr. Reddy's Lab, Hyderabad. Next, I would like to call upon Dr. Krishna Ella from Bharat Biotech, Hyderabad. Bharat Biotech, Hyderabad. The representative from Amara Raj Group, Hyderabad. Thank you. A huge gratitude to all the delegates and partnering institutes that together we could achieve such a great feat. I would now like to pass on the dais to Dr. Sai Ramakrishna Maladi, PI, SATHI-CISCoM, to kindly extend a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Our Chief Guest, Professor Karandikar, our Board of Governors Chairman, Shri B.V.R. Mohan Reddy garu, Vice Chancellor of University of Hyderabad, Professor Jagdishwar Rao garu, and our Director, Professor B.S. Murthy garu, and all the distinguished guests in the audience. It is my distinct honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on this remarkable occasion, the inauguration of DST SATHI-CISCoM Center. I think this is probably one of the very few such centers. There are only 4 such centers globally, one in Northwestern University, one in Japan, and there are a couple of groups in Germany. And I'm proud to say that we are starting the first such center in Hyderabad in India. I think this milestone marks the beginning of a new chapter for IIT Hyderabad and a significant leap forward for the scientific research and collaboration in India. First and foremost, I extend our deepest gratitude to our Chief Guest, Professor Abhay Karandikar, for reinforcing the importance of establishing state-of-the-art research infrastructure accessible to scientists nationwide. Unfortunately, our guest of honor could not join us today, but we would still like to thank him for his continued support from the Telangana Education Board. The SATHI-CISCoM Center would not have been possible without the dedication of several individuals. I'd like to acknowledge the tireless efforts of our Director, Professor B.S. Murthy, whose vision and commitment were instrumental in making SATHI-CISCoM a reality. His persistent follow-ups, meetings, phone calls, and emails have actually united 18 organizations, and this is indeed a remarkable feat. Special thanks to our co-investigators, Professor Ranjit, Professor Shubha Narayan Rath, Dr. Mayur Vaidya, and Dr. Shaurya, who have been helpful right from the beginning, and our project implementation group at IIT Hyderabad cluster from our partner organizations for all their hard work in bringing this cutting-edge facility to fruition. I'd like to particularly recognize support of Shaurya, who's been around for every moment from the inception of this project. We are immensely grateful to all our esteemed partners, the 17 academic, research and industrial organizations who contributed 20 crores to this initiative. Your collaboration is invaluable, and we look forward to innovate with solutions that will emerge from our partnership, pushing the boundaries of microscopy and materials characterization. I'd like to extend a special note of appreciation to the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, for recognizing the potential of this transformative initiative and providing a generous grant of 60 crores. Special thanks to Dr. Pratishtha Pandey and Prabhakar Mohanty from DST for your constant support. You've always been available anytime with your immediate responses over email and phone to help us achieve this. I also acknowledge the efforts of our administrative team, including the heads and ARs of the stores and purchase section, our SRC office, the finance and accounts team, our purchase committee, our Dean Admin and Dean SRC, especially our former Deans Professor Ranjit and Professor Chandra, and our registrar, who have collaborated efficiently to execute the tendering and purchase process in a record time of 4 months. We were granted the project in December, and the sanction letter was given in December. We went ahead with the procurement process, and all the purchase orders were released before end of March by following the tender procedure. I also appreciate the timely inputs from our inventors, Dr. Shaurya, Suhanya, Ranjit, Arabinda, Shubhradeep, Mahesh, Alan, and Rajesh for their role in setting up IITH SATHI Center and your help in the procurement process. I think this is truly a model of efficiency, something which all across the country can be followed. Hosting high-end facilities requires stringent environmental conditions, and I thank our CMD team for their timely inputs and suggestions in designing and executing the lab preparation. I'm proud to say, you must have seen the facility today, that we actually have a world-class laboratory. It is time to deliver now. We are awaiting the delivery of all the other high-end equipment that are promised in the center. I kindly request our vendors to take this occasion and help us realize the dream of having the center completely ready by end of this calendar year. I also wish to acknowledge the efforts of everyone involved in today's event, the organizing committee, the director's office, the admin section, Dr. Nagini from SATHI Center, the engineers and staff from CMD Green Office. It's been a painful 1 week of heavy rains and unpredictable weather, and you've done a remarkable job on having this ready. Our CSO and the security team, the housekeeping team, our student volunteers, your dedication and meticulous planning has ensured the success of this inauguration. Thanks to Mr. Lijan and Dr. Saurav from the design department for assisting us with the media content and the logo creation for the SATHI Center. Lastly, a heartfelt thanks to all the distinguished guests, the members of media, the attendees for joining us today. Your presence and support mean a great deal to us, and we look forward to your continued engagement as we embark on this exciting journey with SATHI-CISCoM. We are fully committed to delivering our promise of productive, collaborative, cutting-edge microscopy solutions from this center. Thank you all. Thank you.
Just one additional felicitation we would like to do. As Sai mentioned, without the support of a few key people from DST and from IIT Hyderabad, the center would not have been possible. We would like to thank them for all their support. First, Dr. Pratishtha Pandey from DST. Ma'am, if you could please come. Your support has been invaluable in setting up this center. Dr. Pravakar Mohanty ji, sir, please. And next to Professor Tata Rao, who is now with IIT Hyderabad as a research consultant. He has been invaluable support for us to set up the center.
Now, I humbly request to all those who can kindly stand for the national anthem. Now, as we close this formal ceremony, I request all the partnering institutes and the representative to kindly come forward for a group photograph.
All the partnering institutions, please. Some of you can be here.
I would also request the co-PIs of the SATHI Center, whoever is here, to please come onto the dais, as well as the indenters of all the equipments.
వస్తుందా